Let's get to the core. I promise it's going to be so much easier than that first bite was. Welcome back. Do you secretly despise marketing? Do you hate having to write all these social media posts and do the webinars and nobody shows up and you just can't quite figure out how to make it work? Well, today we are going to get to the core of what it takes to make a marketing campaign work. We're going to cut out all the fluff, all the confusion, make it super simple, and help you to be able to get leads on any budget. Marketing can be really time-consuming and really expensive. It literally could take up all of your time writing posts, making videos, creating graphics, writing emails, and it's hard to know, like, what should I be spending my time on and what is actually moving the needle, because sometimes you don't even know what's working and what's not. Marketing can be really time-consuming and really expensive. And sometimes when I talk to you and I listen to what's going on in your marketing, I feel like I'm listening to you talk about your gambling addiction. It's like, hey, I just spent $500 on this new marketing platform. I think it's going to be the next big thing. So fingers crossed. And then you just don't even know if it's going to work or not. We can do better than this. We can make it simple, we can get it focused, and we can make sure that it's effective. And so in today's video, let me share with you what we're going to cover. It's really all going to boil down to these 4 things. Who is your ideal client? What is the problem you solve for them? Why should they pick you? And why now? And if we can answer these 4 questions and communicate it effectively, your marketing is going to be successful and a lot more simple and a lot less expensive. And at the end of this video, I am going to share with you the biggest marketing fail that I had my first year in business that actually ended up being a huge blessing. You need to know who your ideal client is, and do not tell me, oh, she's a woman between the ages of 25 and 55 and she lives in, the US or Canada and she's got blah, 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 blah. No. Because here's the deal, I am not the same woman that I was at 25 that I am now at 41. And I am not having the same conversations. I don't have the same struggles. I don't have the same ambitions. I don't have the same dreams. So much has changed. And so when you are trying to get me as a client, you better have a real specific conversation with me that is relevant to where I am today and who I am right now. When I was in high school, all of my jobs pretty much revolved around ice cream because I'm a fan of ice cream. And we went through more vanilla ice cream than anything else. But nobody ever came in and ordered vanilla. They would use it in milkshakes and in sundaes and in banana splits. But nobody ever came in and said, you know what I really want? I want some vanilla ice cream. No, they came in and said, I want gold medal ribbon or raspberry chocolate truffle or mint chocolate chip. I need you to know who your audience is and what specific flavor they want. So that's what we're going to dig into. When you look at your ideal client, there's a few different things you want to know. Number 1 is their demographic information. That's where most people stop. And I want you to narrow it in and get more specific. I promise your ideal client is not between the ages of 25 and 55. Maybe your product works for all of them, but who's the one that is the best client? The one that spends the most, the one that has the most loyalty, the one that gets the best results from using your product. I promise you, you can narrow that in. And we have to let go of this idea that our product is for everyone. Anyone can use your product, but you cannot market to everyone. You have to pick who that ideal client is and narrow it in, get really crystal clear. Next, after demographic information, is the more important stuff. We're going to look at their psychographic information. So this is how they think, how they feel, and how they move through the world. Their hopes, their dreams, their fears, their concerns, their pain, their desires, the things that they want. We need to actually get inside of their head and know how they think so that we can speak to them in a way that makes them go, yes, they get me. She knows me. She is speaking exactly to me. And the third thing we need to know is their location. Now, I'm not talking about where they live. I'm talking about where they gather. Where can we find them? Where can we aim our bow and arrow and shoot and we're gonna hit them and they will be there? So this is the groups and communities that they're a part of. It's the conferences they attend. It's whose email list are they already on. It's who are their vendors and their service providers that we could create a collaboration with and be able to find them really easily. We should not have to go out and be like searching for them, like, I don't know where they are. I think I spot a client. Let me go pursue. We need to actually know where they are and just go position ourselves right in front of them. Next question, what is the problem that you solve for them? And can you say it clearly and concisely? What is the problem that you solve for them? I help small business owners who don't have enough leads and they don't have enough consistent sales in order to grow to 6 or 7 figures. That's the problem I solve for them. We get them leads, we build their sales system. Really, really simple. Now, I could overcomplicate that and I could talk about a lot of different things, but in the end, your client wants the simplest way to understand what is the problem that you solve for them. Here's another thing. If you have multiple different things that you do, you come across as confusing and you come across as the jack of all trades, the master of none. So when you're talking with a client, be really clear on what am I presenting today? How do I solve their problem through one simple channel? Next, why should your clients choose you when there's so much competition out there? If you don't know, I promise you they don't know. And you don't want your clients thinking, well, should I choose this person or that person? I don't know, they kind of do the same thing. So when you are looking at differentiating yourself, you need to get clear on a couple of things. What is your methodology that sets you apart? The second is, what is your delivery that sets you apart? And then the third is, what are the intangibles that set you apart? So when I look at my business and I look at our methodology, we have 4 pillars of success: financial freedom and strength, time freedom, living in alignment with personal values, and relationships. So when we build a business, we're not just going after money. We're trying to create a business that really supports our clients living their best life. Not everyone pays attention to that, so that's a difference in our methodology. When I look at our delivery, we're a high-touch firm, which means that we know all of our clients and our clients know and interact with us. So it's not this kind of distant thing of like, hey, you bought, good luck, but we're really in the work. We also provide a ton of templates, a ton of resources to make production a lot easier for our clients. And we review everyone's work. And so it's a lot more high touch, it's a lot more hands-on than what most of our competitors do. That's our differentiator in our delivery. Then come the intangibles. Why do people really choose me versus choosing someone else? A lot of times it's because they feel like I'm relatable and I get them. So they understand the juggling of business and family. They understand the desire for faith and strong marriage and strong relationships. And they like that I'm a little goofy and I'm approachable and I don't seem like some high power, super fancy girl who knows everything and isn't attainable. So those are the intangibles. When you know those 3 things, you can communicate a message so effectively that you draw your people to you. And the last question is, why now? Why should they work with you now versus later? Because if it feels like they could just work with you at any point in time and it doesn't really matter, they will put off the deal and the decision, and then you tend to lose them because they move on to something else, or they forget why it was important to them, or their commitment shifts. So you need to have a feeling of they need to do it now in order to get to their next step and where they want to go. That urgency is critical. So why does all of this matter? Because so often people start marketing without figuring these basic things out. And so they're like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to start Pinterest. I'm going to start running online conferences. I'm going to go do a vendor booth. But they haven't gotten to the core of what should be behind everything. And so they're doing a lot of marketing activity and none of it is actually grabbing the clients, bringing them in and speaking to them in a way that is going to create clear and easy conversions. If you'll start with the core, start with this foundation, everything you do will be more effective. Everything you do will be more effective, and you'll stop wasting time trying things that don't even connect with your clients. Maybe your clients aren't even on Pinterest. Why are you wasting time there, right? Now you know what's at the core of every marketing campaign. The next video you're going to want to go watch is how to create video marketing content on a budget. Go watch it now. Here it comes. You know you're going to learn something. You know it's going to be good. That's like a mouthful of a video. Who comes up with these names?